my name is Leo and welcome to another reading of the Elder Scrolls. Today we're going to be reading the Charwich Koniinge Letters Book 3. 13th of Last Seed, 3rd Era, 411. Wayrest, Highwalk. My dear Koniinge, please forgive the quality of the handwriting in this note, but I've not to live. Oh. I can only reply in detail to one part of your letter, and that is that I fear Balthazar, contrary to what you've heard, is very much real. Had he been but a figment of that caretaker's imagination, I would not be feeling life ebb from me as I write this. I feel like I should do a dying man's voice. Lady... No. I don't know how to do it. Alright, I'm just gonna do the voice I was doing before. Lady Morrowind has sent for healers, but I know they won't arrive in time. I just need to explain what happened, so that you'll understand, and then all my affairs in this world will be ended. The one advantage of my condition is that I must be brief, without my habitually ornamental descriptions of people and places. I know that you will appreciate that, at least. I will, because I don't want to read it so much. It started when I came to Wayrest, and through my friend Lady Morrowind and her court connections, was introduced to Balthazar himself. I had to proceed carefully, not wanting him to know of our designs on Azura's star, which I presumed he possessed, given to him by his servant, Hadwarth Nethwa. His functioning Queen Elisana's court seemed to be decorative, like so many of her courtiers, and it was not hard to differentiate myself from the others when we began conversing on the school of mysticism. Many of the other hangers-on at the palace can speak eloquently on the subject of the magical arts, with a K. What's magic? Yeah, I don't know why there's a K in there. Because magica is spelled with a K. Okay. Sure. Sorry. Magical arts. But it seemed that only he and I had deep knowledge of the craft. Many a nobleman or adventurer who aren't mages by profession learn a spell or two from the useful schools of restoration or destruction. I told Balthazar quite truthfully that I never learned any of that. Oh, but I wish I knew some healing spells of the school of restoration right about now. But I digress. For that I had developed some small skill in mysticism. Not enough to be a Psijic, of course, but in telekinesis, password... What's password? Opening doors? And spell reflection. I had some amateur ability. He responded with compliments, which allowed me to segue into the topic of another spell of mysticism. The Soul Trap. That's funny, because it's actually conjuration and was it mysticism in? Yeah, but mysticism was taken out. I don't know if it was taken out of Oblivion, but it was taken out of Skyrim. And yeah, Soul Trap was conjuration. Anyway. I told him I was learned, but curious about that spell, and very naturally and comfortably I was able to bring up the subject of Azura's star. The endless well of souls. Imagine how I had to hold back my excitement when he leaned in and whispered to me, "If that interests you, come to Charwich Koniinge, west of the city, tomorrow night." Oh, I couldn't sleep at all. The only thing I could think of was how I would get that star when he showed it to me. I still knew so little about Balthazar, his past and his power, but the opportunity was too great to let past. I don't know why I'm hitting my chair. Isn't he just gonna soul trap our guy and kill him? Chadwich? probably what happened to him. We'll see. Anyway, where was I? Damn it. Still, I must admit that I held hopes that you would arrive, as you threatened you might in your letter, so I might have somewhat of physical strength to aid me in my adventure. I am growing weaker and weaker as I write this, so I must proceed with the basic facts. I went to the crypt the following night, and Balthazar led me through the maze of it to the repository where he kept the star. We were talking quite casually, and as you've so often said, it seemed an excellent time for an ambush. I grabbed the star and unsheathed my blade, in what I felt was amazing speed. He turned to me, and I suddenly felt that I was moving like a snail. In a flash, Balthazar changed his form and became his true self. Not man or mer, but Daedra. A colossal Daedra lord who swiped back the star from my grasp and laughed at my sword as it thudded against his impenetrable hide. I knew I had been beaten, and I threw myself towards the corridor. A blue flash of energy coursed through me, flung by Balthazar's claws. At once I began to feel death. He could have smite. Is that like smite, but past tense? Never heard that word before. He could have smote me with 1,000 spells. But he chose the one where I could lie down and suffer, and hear him laugh. At the very least, I did not give him that pleasure. Oh, when he struck, it was too late for me to cast a counterspell of mysticism, one to dispel the magicka, reflect it or absorb it as my own. But I did still know how to teleport myself. What the mystics termed recall, God, I wish I had that in Skyrim, to whatever place I'd last set a spiritual anchor. I confess that at the time I did not remember where that would be. Perhaps in Borthane, when I arrived in Illyric Bay, or in Cambria, or in Gamtree Garden, where I met the caretaker, or my hostess's palace in Wayrest. I pray that I had not set the anchor last when I was with you in Morrowind, for it is said that if the distance is too great, one can be caught between dimensions. Really? Suppose, is recall a spell? It's not a spell in Arena now. At least I think so. Anyway, still I was willing to take that chance rather than being the plaything of Balthazar. I cast the spell and found myself back on the doorstep of Lady Morling's palace. To be out of the crypt and away from that Daedra was a relief, but I had so hoped that I had been smart enough to cast an anchor near a mage's guild or a temple where I could find a healer. Instead, knowing that I was too weak to walk far, I beat on the door and was taken here, where I write this letter, lying in my bed. Okay, now I'll do the dying verse, because it's the last paragraph. As I write these words, dear Elspeth, Lady Morling came in quite tearfully and frantic to tell me the healers should be here within but a few minutes, but I will be dead before I don't know, ere they arrive. I know this are my last words, dear friend. Stay away from this cursed place. Your friend, Charwich. Why would you write that? Why would you write... Shut up. Don't worry about it. Alright, well, this has been this has been a reading of the Charwich Koniinge Letters, Book 3. And another reading of the Elder Scrolls. But for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next time.